Just tell us what this therapy is and how it works.
So it is a gene therapy, and the lovely thing about this particular condition as a model for where gene therapy should be safe and effective is that the anatomy is absolutely perfect. So the only problem is that the inner ear doesn't talk to the nerve that takes the sound signal to the brain. So by using gene therapy, we can put the working gene into the inner ear, and that means that the signal will start to flow again. So as we've seen with Opal, then it really is effective, and because we can just deliver it just to that tiny little area in the in her inner ear, then it's very safe.
We described this in our intro as groundbreaking. Was it even more of a positive result than you'd hoped for and expected?
Absolutely. I think we were all so amazed that that when we heard that her hearing was, as you say, nearly normal. So we're hoping that she won't even need a hearing aid to support her hearing on that side. So it was really wonderful to hear, and I think very exciting for her family when she first started to respond to sound, as you can see in the video at the moment.
Fantastically uplifting video is when we know the story behind it. I mean, tell us how far into this we are. Is it early days, or is it possible that this sort of therapy will be able to be used for all deaf people?
Well, so I think we're particularly thinking about the genetic causes of hearing loss. And I think it's really important that the National Deaf Children's Society have quite rightly said that hearing impairment isn't a barrier to a happy life. That said, many families are really excited about the idea that we could cure not only this form of genetic hearing loss, but also potentially some of the others, some of which are more common, and for which we have therapies cooking on a research basis as we speak. And then I think the implications of this are really important for other rare diseases with a genetic basis. I've looked after many patients over the years with neurological and metabolic conditions for whom the lack of a cure has been really distressing in some really difficult disorders. So this gives me great hope that because we've seen such good results that we may be able to see the beginning of real genomic medicine where we can offer cures for those disorders.
What are the risks to gene therapy?
Well, historically, there have been issues around when we give large doses of gene therapy to the whole child. And amongst other things, then sometimes that's provoked liver inflammation. So what we're seeing here is that if we're really clever about the way that we deliver the gene therapy, such that, so in this case, to deliver it really locally and to target it particularly at the cochlear hair cells, then we spare those adverse effects. And I'm really pleased to see that Opal hasn't had any side effects from her gene therapy.
What's next? Is this something that still has to go through various stages of approval and find funding for this to be widely available?
Yes, so this is a research therapy. We're recruiting 18 patients worldwide, and then obviously that'll be published, and we're really optimistic about the results we're seeing so far. And then, of course, the hope is that that will translate to this treatment being available on the NHS.
Is it expensive?
Well, it doesn't have a price yet because it's a research treatment, but all other gene therapies are fantastically expensive to research and develop, and I'm confident that this will be expensive too.
And I guess just finally, where do we rank in the UK with gene therapy broadly? Are we ahead of the curve, behind the curve?
I think that's a really good question. So in terms of genomic medicine as a whole, what we've been doing in Cambridge for 10 or 15 years is that we've been working on how to make genetic diagnoses as early as possible so that we can get intervention in when it really counts, for example, in terms of promoting a child's development. I think that the future sees us getting to gene therapy for hopefully a large number of conditions. And I think that the fact that we've been able to do this here in Cambridge speaks of an environment in which both genetic diagnosis and treatment is world equaling here. So we have great partners in Spain and America for this trial. So gene therapy is a truly global initiative. But I think that actually here in the UK, we are at the cutting edge.
Professor Brown, congratulations on this development. Thanks for joining us.
Pleasure.